everyone, and welcome back to my channel Melanade Beauty. In today's video, I decided to give myself a bit of a challenge by DIYing random thrifted items in my home. Keep in mind that these items are super cheap and easy to create. I didn't have to go out and purchase any other supplies. I had everything here at my home. When I'm thrifting, I try to choose common household items. That way you guys can find them in your local thrift store and recreate these thrift flips. Now remember to stick around for the end of this video because of course I saved the best DIY for last. I don't want to ramble on too much, so let's just get started with project number 1. For my first DIY, I'm going to be creating trendy photo frames using these natural wooden frames from the Goodwill. They were $2 a piece, and I'm simply going to be using paint from the Dollar Tree to give these an update. And to apply my paint, I'm going to be using these rounded tip paint brushes. I am randomly making different shaped lines around the border of the picture frame, just creating a random funky pattern that will stand out and look different. And for this last frame, I'm just going to mix all of these colors to customize a different paint color, and this one actually turned out to be my favorite. And for some art prints, I just used my Canva app to create these minimal line art. Project number 2 are these super on-trend squiggly curvy candles. I found these candles at my local Habitat Humanity for $1.50 for each pair. Obviously, it's the color that sold me on these candles, and I thought they would be perfect for this project. First, we're going to let these candles sit in a container of hot water for at least 15 minutes. This is what's going to make these candles become more pliable and easy to work with. And these will float, so you'll need something heavy to keep them down in the water. Once they have soaked, you're just going to take them out and dry them off with a paper towel, and then they'll be ready to start creating different shapes. So for my first one, I'm just going to bend it halfway in the middle and then bend it again going upward. This second one, I'm going to bend in a complete twist, so almost like a half of a knot. Going to set this one aside, and for my last 2 candles, I'm actually going to be combining them as one whole candle. So for this one, I'm going to kind of twist the bottom so it has leverage where it can sit up on its own, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the second candle. I realized there's some type of casting on the outside of these candles, so they did crack in certain areas, but it did not bother me. I still think they look good. And to mend these 2 pieces together, I'm first cutting the end so they are very flat surfaces. That way when I glue them together, they can just fit seamlessly. Here you'll see me first using my fingers to kind of like mend them into shape. So when I go and put my glue, they'll just fit almost like a puzzle. So at first I tried to use E6000 to put these together, but it didn't cure enough. So I did end up using super glue. It's like a little super glue that you can get from the Dollar Tree in the little tiny tube. And that's what actually got these to stick pretty good. But I still went and used some tape to tape these pieces together so while they dry, they'll be nice and secure. Project 3 is this wooden box that I got from Goodwill, and it is unfinished wood for $2, so I thought it'd be the perfect item to DIY. I actually took a pretty long time to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with this box. So to start off, I knew I wanted to cover up some of the wood and wrap it in this material. I've used this material several DIYs. It's from Target. It's actually a table runner. I'll leave it linked below in case you want to use this material. I am going to measure and cut the length and width of this wood so it will fit around my box. And once that piece is cut, I can begin to hot glue this material around the box. As you can see, that material wasn't able to reach all the way around, so I'm going to be using these dowels from the Dollar Tree to cover up that portion. And I'm just marking here where I need to cut them all at the same length. Unfortunately, I don't have any other tools for these type of handheld cutting, so I'm using a knife, and I did most of the cutting off camera. Once they were cut, I used some sandpaper to sand the ends down for a smooth finish. And I'm going to be applying those dowels just using some hot glue. As I was creating this box, I realized I wanted to use it as a tea box, so I'll show you what that'll look like in just a bit. So I didn't want to leave the top of the box just plain. I felt like it looked really boring and that I didn't do much to it. So I'm going to actually be painting the top with this green sage color chalk paint. I really love this color. It's from Country Chic Paint and it is the color Sage Advice. I also painted this color on a nightstand recently and it turned out really good. Adding this pop of color to this natural wooden box really made the whole thing pop. So this last DIY is something I actually picked up recently and I automatically knew what I wanted to do with it. It was a chocolate brown leather Ottoman that was really large in size, which is really what got me, for only $10. So if you don't know by now, those Sherpa or boucle material styled furniture is so in right now, especially on the Restoration Hardware website. This oversized modular Sherpa Ottoman is for $1,300 on the Restoration Hardware teen website. Target also has their own version for $710. And I already had all the materials that I needed for this ottoman. As you can see, she's in pretty rough shape and not that appealing as is. Even those legs are really not worth saving, but luckily I have a solution for that. First things first, I'm going to clean this entire thing down really good using some bacterial disinfectant spray. I'm going to be covering this entire ottoman in this Sherpa blanket from Walmart. It was on clearance for $11 and it is in the size full queen, so we have plenty to work with. I'm also going to be using my staple gun and lots of staples because that's how we're going to be attaching this material. Also, I purchased these wooden legs from Amazon for future projects and I thought this would be the perfect fit. So I'm just laying out this material to see where I need to make cuts, even though Cleo really gave me a hard time. So I'm just going to make a snip where I need to cut along a straight line to fit on this ottoman. So I'm just going to cut all the way down and then do the same on the long side. Now that my piece is cut, it's time to flip her over and start stapling. First, I'm going to remove the legs so I have easy access to staple. I'm going to repeat this on all sides of the ottoman, tucking and folding in the corners as I go. Now that I have it all stapled, it's time to cut off the excess fabric. Here is the ottoman without any legs on it, and it really replicates that ottoman that you see on the RH website, where it's really low to the ground, very modular and modern. I love this without the legs, to be honest, but I'm still going to show you what it looks like with legs. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Comment down below which DIY was your favorite and most likely you'll recreate for your home. Remember to subscribe to my channel, Melanae Beauty, and also hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. Until next time, bye!